Hey everyone, this is going to be episode 5 of my Injustice 2 character talks, and this episode is all about Blue Beetle. So I'm going to go over briefly all 3 Blue Beetles. I'm going to read the whole page in my encyclopedia, and then I'm going to discuss the one that's in Injustice 2, which is the 3rd Blue Beetle, Jaime Reyes. Okay, so basically I'm going to read the whole side that says all the names, and I'm going to read the summaries of the characters. So, with that being said, the first Blue Beetle initially appeared in Blue Beetle First Series number 1 in June 1964, and he is deceased. His real name was Dr. Daniel Garrett. He was an adventurer, and his base was Hub City. His special abilities and powers included super strength. He was able to fly and discharge lightning like energy from his fingertips, and chainmail armor impervious to small arms fire. Those were his abilities. And Blue Beetle number 2, real name Theodore aka Ted Cord, was also an adventurer. He is also deceased. He first appeared in Captain Atom First Series number 83 in 1966 in November. Now, what's interesting about Ted Cord's Blue Beetle, he is the only one that did not ever use the Blue Beetle Scarab. His special powers and abilities included no superpowers. Well, he didn't actually have superpowers like the other two. He is a genius inventor and a capable hand-to-hand combatant. His BB gun has several settings, including a walloping, compressed air blast, and blinding strobe light. Beetle's greatest weapon is his Bug, a stealthy solar-powered crime-fighting vehicle, which actually appears in Blue Beetle Rebirth, where Ted Cord comes back and he meets Jaime and tells him what he thinks the Blue Beetle Scarab actually is. And I have only read the first comic in that series. I would like to read more, but I need to get them one of these days. So, with that being said, Blue Beetle number 3's first appearance was in Infinite Crisis number 5 in March 2006. Status hero, real name Jaime Reyes. Occupation high school student adventurer. So, all 3 of them have been adventurers. His base is El Paso, Texas. Jaime Reyes is Mexican. And his special powers and abilities include an alien suit that provides protection, flight, enhanced strength, and that can generate many forms of weaponry. So, going back to the first Blue Beetle, after discovering glowing azure scarab in the tomb of the evil pharaoh archaeologist Dr. Daniel Garrett gained miraculous powers when he uttered the words Haji Da. I don't know how to say that. It's a weird word. Which in turn allowed him to possess superhuman abilities, and clad in azure chainmail armor, he fought evil in Hub City as the first Blue Beetle. Years later, he helped student Ted Cord thwart Cord's uncle Jarvis and his plans for world domination, because Ted Cord's uncle is evil. So, I believe he is also a enemy of the current Blue Beetle, and is after the Scarab. Not sure. I read this somewhere though. The battle left Blue Beetle mortally wounded. With his dying breath, Garrett made young Cord promise that he would carry on his stead, thus ensuring that the Blue Beetle's heroic legacy would continue. So, that brings us to Ted Cord. When Dan Garrett was grievously injured thwarting the maniacal Jarvis Cord from dominating the world, With his army robot, Garrett asked his friend and protege Ted Cord, Jarvis's nephew, to carry on his stead as Blue Beetle number 2. Before Garrett could pass on the mystic scarab that gave him his astounding ability, the dying hero and his talisman were entombed under tons of rubble on the remote Pago Island, site of Jarvis Cord's failed plot. Undaunted, Cord trained himself in a variety of fighting skills and developed an arsenal of non-lethal weapons to let him operate as a non-powered Blue Beetle. His sense of adventurous whimsy was in stark contrast to Dan Garrett's stalwart stoicism. Once more, there was a Blue Beetle to keep evil at bay in Hub City, where he added his own rogues gallery to villains inherited from Dan Garrett. Later on, he moved to Chicago and made the Windy City safer during his tenure there. Unfortunately, superheroics haven't always been as easy for the second Blue Beetle as for the original one. Ted hasn't always been able to devote complete attention to running Cord Omniversal Research and Development, a high-tech corporation he built up from a tiny company inherited from his father. And Ted can attest that he has had even less time left over for his infrequent romances during Blue Beetle's investigation of Checkmate, the superhero community, and inspired Booster Gold to attempt to reverse the event through time travel. Third, Blue Beetle, the teenager Jaime Reyes, emerged in Texas during Infinite Crisis and now serves alongside the Teen Titans. And Ted Cord was shot dead by Maxwell Ward in the headquarters of Checkmate. So, that brings us to Jaime Reyes. The scarab that gave Dan Garrett his powers found his way into Shazam's Rock of Eternity. When the rock exploded before the Infinite Crisis, the scarab landed in Texas and bonded to Jaime Reyes' spine. After experimenting, Jaime could generate body armor, jetpacks, and weapons. He became Blue Beetle, joining Batman, Green Arrow, Mr. Terrific number 2, and others against the Brother Eye Satellite, controlling an army of OMAC units on Earth. Jaime spent nearly a year lost in the extra-dimensional bleed between parallel worlds. He found a mentor in the Peacemaker and romance with Tracy 13 while crossing paths with Guy Gardner, see Green Lantern, and the Spectre. During a fight with Eclipso, the evil being promised to bring Jaime's fantasies to life, revealing his deepest desire to be comfortable living as a dentist. So Jaime wants to be a dentist, basically. He recently learned that his scarab is a creation of alien species, the Reach. The scarab was to act as an advanced agent, but through Jaime's influence, Blue Beetle number 3 has become one of the Reach's most persistent enemies. Jaime relies on friends and family to ease the stress of adventuring. He has formed a second family with the Teen Titans. So, that was all my encyclopedia said for all 3 of the Blue Beetles. So, Jaime is the one that we're talking about right now, because he's the current one, and the one that's in Injustice 2. The first appearance in the Infinite Crisis that he was in is number 3, which was in February of 2006. As I said, he is the third character to assume the mantle of Blue Beetle, and is substantially different from his predecessors, because he has more unique abilities and powers. So, let's see. We'll find some more information about him, and then... Okay, so... He was created by Keith Giffen, John Roberts, and Coley Hammer. Full name Jaime Reyes. Species human. Place of origin New Earth. Team affiliations include Teen Titans, Justice League, Young Justice, And his partnerships include Tracy 13, which is a girlfriend of his, I believe. Because that's what I just read. So, I'm going to say some of the animation that he appears in is Young Justice TV show. He appears in season 2. He is in Justice League vs. Teen Titans, voiced by Jake T. Austin, and also voiced by Jake T. Austin in Teen Titans Judas Contract, which is coming out soon. His abilities include an alien-suited powered armor and granting flight, enhanced strength and durability, creation of weapons, translation of alien languages, so he can translate the languages that aliens speak. He can translate weird languages. Ability to create and unleash powerful hand blast beams, which we see in the comics and in Injustice 2. That's some of his abilities that they incorporated with him. So, let's see what this says. DC's introduction of Jaime Reyes in 2016 retconned and expanded upon the Blue Beetle mythos, revealed to be alien in origin. The Scarab bonds with him and provides him with a suit of extraterrestrial armor shortly after Cord's death. Which is moreover, though only a teenager, he quickly forms a working relationship with Cord's former teammate and best friend, Mr. Gold, and is indicted into the Teen Titans. He also has appeared in both animated and live-action forms. So I just went over the animation. He's been in Batman, Brave and the Bold, Young Justice, and the live-action version of him was shown in Smallville, I think in season 10, which I did not see because I don't watch that. So pretty much his little origin right here. He lives in El Paso, Texas with his father, mother, and little sister. His father owns a garage. Jamie offers to help his father at the garage, but his father feels Jaime should study and enjoy his childhood instead for as long as he can. Jaime has an acute sense of responsibility for his family and friends, though he complains about having to sort out their various problems, and he derives strength and courage from his family's support. So, as I also mentioned, the reason that the Scarab bonded to him was because he picked it up when it came to Earth, where he lives. And that's basically why, anyway. The Reach, who are ancient enemies of the Guardians of the Universe, are one of his biggest enemies, and they're after the Scarab, basically. He has recently sought help from Star Labs to discover Scarab's full power, which he's still basically trying to find out, even now. His series was cancelled in February 2013. His New 52 series was, anyway. So even though I talked about the DC Rebirth and latest relaunch of the DC Universe, DC Rebirth, Jaime is working with Ted Kord's side Beetle attached to his back end to remove it. Once again, the Blue Beetle's origin is retconned as revealed by Dr. Fate, who tells Kord that the Beetle is not alien, but it's magical instead. So, it's Dr. Fate who believes that's magical. Similar to the original continuity pre-Infinite Crisis. and Jaime will soon join Damian Wayne's Teen Titans in further issues from DC Rebirth. So I guess he's in the Teen Titans DC Rebirth, which I have not read. Let's see. In the alternate timeline of the 2011 Flashpoint storyline, Jaime was a part of a team called the Ambush Bugs, led by the Canterbury Cricket, who did an attack on the Amazons, which ended in failure with the demise of every bug hero except the Canterbury Cricket. And in Smallville, the version of him, he is a member of the team Titans with Connor, Kent, Superboy, Speedy, Miss Martian, Zan and Jaina, who I think are the one, yeah, Zan and Jaina at J. Garrett School for the Gifted. So, there was a live action series featuring him announced by Jeff Johns, but it never happened. They did tests for, it was Smallville, I believe. No, wait. They did a test for it, and it just never came about. He is a featured character in the animated series Batman the Brave and the Bold, voiced by Will Friedle. He appears in Young Justice Invasion, voiced by Eric Lopez. And I went over Justice League vs. Teen Titans, where he's voiced by Jake T. Austin. And we're gonna go over a couple of his memories. Not memories, but enemies. Excuse me, I don't know why. But he is a playable character in Injustice 2, playable character in Lego Batman 3, DLC in Young Justice Legacy, also voiced by Eric Lopez, and a playable character in Batman the Brave and the Bold video game, also voiced by Will Friedle. So, let's find his enemies. Some of his enemies include Ladama, the aunt of Jaime's friend Brenda. Amparo Cardenas is the biggest crime lord in El Paso, Texas, and the closest thing to an arch-enemy for Jaime. She's well aware of his dual identity, and Jaime being well aware of Amparo's dual identity, the Reach, which is the ancient enemy of the Guardians of the Universe and the Controllers. The Reach disperse their scarabs across the universe that bond with life forms, turning them into weapons with the alien race. He becomes a target when the combination of magic and needs influence on a scarab allow it to break free of its collective. Another one of his enemies is also Black Beetle, blaming his sister's death on Jaime. Hector bonded with Reach technology, taking the name Black Beetle and alias Joshua. Aligned with the Time Stealer, he has become Jaime's nemesis. And some other ones include Bone Crusher, Coyote, Dr. Polaris, Jarvis Cord. Uncloaked the second Blue Beetle, Jarvis took Jaime under his wing, and the latter viewed him as a mentor for some time, before discovering that he was only using him to uncover secrets of the Scarab technology. And Silverback, being a cyborg gorilla who wields big guns and is better remembered the Brotherhood of Evil, was disappointed by Phobia, Warp, and Plasmus' attempt to steal the Scarab. So they're one thing they all have in common, pretty much, is going after the Scarab that's bonded to his back. So, with that being said, Blue Beetle's part in Injustice 2, basically, he's helping out Batman. He's on Batman's insurgency, so he's on the good side. And Batman's sort of like a mentor to him in that way since he asked him for help. So, what do I think of his character in general? I actually did not really know who he was at first, and I did more research after finding out he was revealed for Injustice 2 as a playable character, because he looked really cool. I've seen him in Young Justice. I like him in that. He's a very unique character in my opinion. That might be an unpopular opinion, but he's pretty unique to me, and I like him as a character. I read some of his comics, not a lot of them, because I only have about 4, but he's a very interesting character. So, with that being said, this concludes episode 5 of my Injustice 2 character talks, and I hope you guys are enjoying them. Episodes 6 and 7 and 8 are coming up. Might do one more later tonight, and I might do some tomorrow. And with that being said, I'm going to go, so leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. My Twitter and Instagram are in my other recent videos. So, thanks for watching. And I'll be streaming Injustice 2 when it comes out. And I'll be streaming Injustice shortly to do more character endings. So, again, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. So, bye.